Why do we think about procrastination so negatively? Is it because it makes students underachieve? Is it because it makes employees less productive? Or is it because it fills us with so much shame? Shame because we didn't start that diet, we didn't send that email, we didn't apply for that job until it was too late. And even when we procrastinated and managed to finish just on time, it left us disappointed in ourselves because once again we broke our promise to ourselves. The promise of doing better next time. The promise of starting the next assignment earlier the next time. The promise of turning over a new leaf and doing things differently the next time. Now I know many of us have tried breaking the pattern of promising ourselves, then procrastinating and putting ourselves down. But what if we could see procrastination differently? What if instead of seeing procrastination as negative behavior, we reframed it? What if we began to embrace procrastination and started seeing it as something positive? I've seen and experienced the impact of procrastination for a few decades. First as a university student, and then for the last 36 years as an educator, where I have been baffled by students' blatant procrastination. I've read multiple research articles on procrastination. But until I read the research by Piers Steele, PhD, and learned about his procrastination equation, I used to think of procrastination as negative. However, since reading Dr. Steele's research on procrastination, I've come to realize that procrastination is but a function of motivation, so I no longer see it as negative. I've come to see procrastination as a gift because it provides us with data. And that's why today I want to talk about the benefits. Yes, the benefits of procrastination, so that you will realize that the very act of procrastination can help to enhance your self-development. I'll show you that procrastination is a valuable tool for your self-development in 3 areas: self-awareness, self-discipline, and self-reflection. Okay, let's begin with the first benefit, which is self-awareness. Procrastination is a valuable tool because it develops our self-awareness. By definition, self-awareness is the ability to see ourselves clearly, our thoughts, our behaviors, our actions. And since the ability to see ourselves clearly is usually the first step towards change, any instrument that provides us with that type of data is a valuable tool. And procrastination can be that valuable tool. Now, to understand how procrastination can be that valuable tool, let's look at the procrastination equation, which I mentioned to you in my introduction. So, according to Dr. Steele, procrastination is really a function of motivation. And he has come up with this equation where he says motivation equals expectancy times value over impulsiveness times delay. So Dr. Steele's equation is telling us that whenever someone procrastinates, we need to look at 4 elements. We We need to look at their expectancy, the value, their impulsiveness, and delay. 4 elements. Now, right now, we're only going to focus on the numerator, or the elements at the top of the equation, which are expectancy and value. Now, expectancy means your confidence or your ability to finish a task. Meaning, do you think you can do it? Are you confident that you're able to complete the task? Do you have the skills that you need to succeed? And when we speak about value, we're speaking about the worth, the merit, the importance that you place on the task. In other words, how important is this thing to you? So based on this equation, when our expectancy is low and the value is low, we procrastinate. But when expectancy is high and the value is high, we do not procrastinate. Therefore, if we procrastinate, we have data, and that's a gift, because we don't have to guess or wonder why we are procrastinating. Think about it. You have 2 assignments to complete, and they're both due on the same day. One is your accounting assignment, and the other is your public speaking assignment. Now, for the accounting assignment, you have a great interest in accounting. You want to be an accountant, you find accounting easy, so you're motivated, right? But for public speaking, well, you like it. You love Tanya's classes, but you don't really think you're great at it. And if you're being honest with yourself, it would be nice to be a good public speaker, but you don't really place it high in terms of priority. So yeah, it would be nice to have. And then guess what? Your Uncle Ronnie is a CPA, and he is the biggest introvert. And you know for a fact that he earns a lot of money. He is the worst public speaker ever. And guess what? He's getting by without public speaking skills. So yeah, it would be nice to be a public speaker, but if you don't become one, that's okay. So back to the 2 assignments. You have an accounting assignment, you have a public speaking assignment. So for the accounting assignment, there's high expectancy and there is high value. But for the public speaking assignment, well, there is low or lower expectancy, certainly lower than the accounting, and there is lower value. Which one would you procrastinate over? Not the accounting one. Why? Because you expect to succeed and you see its value more than the value you see or the expectancy you have for public speaking. So this explains why procrastination can be used or seen as a tool, because it helps to develop your self-awareness. So if we find ourselves procrastinating and find ourselves unwilling or unable to begin a task, we now have data. We have a signal, we have a sign, we have something to not ignore. We have self-awareness, which in this case is like a compass pointing us in the direction we need to look. So when we procrastinate, we just have to be honest and ask ourselves the tough questions. Am I procrastinating because my expectancy is low? Or am I procrastinating because the value is low? And by asking ourselves these questions, we'll become more self-aware. And that's because we'll have an opportunity to examine our expectancy and the value we've placed on the particular task. Whether it is starting the public speaking assignment or starting the accounting assignment or sending off that resume, or even cleaning up our bedrooms. And by doing this examination, we get a chance to see how procrastination can be a gift or a tool for our self-development. Okay, so we've looked at procrastination from the lens of the procrastination equation, and now we've seen how procrastination can help us to be more self-aware. Now let's look at the denominator, or the bottom of the procrastination equation. Let's look at impulsiveness and delay and see how recognizing those two elements can help us to be more self-disciplined. Now, the second benefit of procrastination is that it helps to monitor and improve our self-discipline. Okay, so in conclusion, today we've looked at how we can reframe procrastination from being seen as negative to being seen as something positive, a gift that provides us with data which, if used, can help to enhance our self-development in 3 areas: self-awareness, self-discipline, and self-reflection. And I hope that as you listened, you started to think about your life and think about the task that you have been procrastinating over. Maybe it's been your bedroom that for the longest while you have wanted to clean it up. Or maybe it's your work desk. It may look like mine, where it's a pile of things and you maybe don't feel that you have the expectancy or see the value in cleaning it up. Or maybe you have been procrastinating forever to start that blog, to start that TikTok channel, to start that podcast that you've been talking about forever. I'd like to challenge you to look at those unfinished tasks and see procrastination as a tool. Most times, if we've procrastinated about something for a long time, we begin to feel negative about ourselves and the task. How about if you started reframing it and you started seeing it as an opportunity for growth? Revisit the task, look at the procrastination equation, and allow it to be your guide. See procrastination for what it is, a gift. And then decide if you want to accept that gift or reject it.